So Battle for Azeroth is coming out on August 13th, and just recently we got the patch 8.0, which is the pre-patch to Battle for Azeroth. Now in this pre-patch, pretty much every single class in the game was changed drastically. Everything has been totally shifted. For the better, for the worse. It's kind of up to you guys, up in the air. And so I want to share the changes that have been made with you guys, and just share my thoughts on them and my initial thoughts on these changes. So let's get into it. So for tier 15, you have Master Poisoner, Elaborate Planning, and then Blindside. Master Poisoner has been meta for quite a while. Elaborate Planning, I think, has been nerfed just recently from 15% down to 10%. And Blindside is a brand new talent. Now, what Blindside does is it exploits the vulnerability of foes within or with less than 30% of their health, dealing 926 physical damage to the target. Mutilate has a 25% chance to make your next Blindside free and usable on any target, regardless of their health. So what this says to me, anyway, is Blindside's kind of like an execute, essentially, a spammable execute, as you guys can imagine. Is probably going to be relatively strong in the right hands or in the right build, in the right comp. You name it, it's probably going to be pretty strong there. Master Poisoner, of course, increases the damage done by your weapon's poison and their non-damaging effects by 20%. Sorry, poisons by 30%, non-damaging effects by 20%. So personally, I'm rolling with Master Poisoner still. But that's just kind of for the build that I've set up here, which the build that you guys see on this is by no means a good arena build or anything like that. This is just a fun little AoE build I was messing with. The next tier 30, you have Master Assassin. While stealth is active and for 3 seconds after breaking stealth, your critical strike chance is increased by 50%. This sounds okay. This sounds good. I mean, like, not bad, you know? It's an interesting concept. That being said, it can't beat Subterfuge. I mean, you can use abilities that require stealth 3 seconds after breaking stealth. Also, it causes your Garrote to deal 100% increased damage and have no cooldown when used from stealth and for 3 seconds after breaking stealth. Like, that is a huge deal right there. You just can't beat Subterfuge. Subterfuge wins in every situation here. Night Stalker doesn't come close, and honestly neither does Master Assassin, because Subterfuge allows you to get double cheap shots into double opening Garrotes. I mean, there's no competition. Sorry. Vigor, Deeper Stratagem, March for Death, all of these have been here forever. March for Death actually moved from, I think, the 90 or 100 tier down to the 45 tier. Most Assassination rogues that I've seen run Vigor. Some of them will run Marked for Death. A lot of sub-rogues definitely run Marked for Death also. I can understand that, and same thing, Outlaw. I can understand that because of World of Bones. Tier 60 is Leeching Poison, Cheat Death, and Elusiveness. So Elusiveness has changed, actually. So you'll see here, Feint also reduces the damage you take by non-area. So it's essentially saying, like, you're just reducing your damage that you're taking by 30% for 5 seconds. Look at, really quick here, Feint now has a 15-second cooldown. It costs the same amount of energy, and it has the same effect. So it's just on a 15-second cooldown now, whereas before it wasn't. It just had no cooldown. You could do whatever you want. Leeching Poison, I think, has been added to this tier. It's been in the game, but it's not actually been on this tier, I don't believe. But it just gives you 12% leech on anybody who has your deadly poison, and it spreads through anything, like your poison knives that you throw or your Phantom knives. It spreads through either of those abilities. Tier 75, one new thing is Iron Wire, which increases the duration of Garrote's silence effect by 3 seconds, or in PvP it's only 1 second, but enemies that are silenced by Garrote deal 15% reduced damage for 8 seconds. Personally, for me, I'm still going to stick with Prey on the Weak for this. Tier 90, Venom Rush, Toxic Blade, and Exsanguinate. I'm pretty sure all of these are the same. Exsanguinate's not really that good. It's only 100% faster as opposed to, I think it used to be like 200, and then they dropped it to 150, and now it's down to 100, so I would much rather take Toxic Blade and just have my nature damage done against the target increased by another 30% on top of Master Poisoner. Beyond that, all 3 of these I do believe are new. Oops. So Poison Bomb, if you guys remember, if you guys ever played Assassination Rogue prior to this patch, you'll remember Poison Bomb as a talent that you can actually pick up, or not talent, but an artifact talent, I guess is what it's called, artifact trait that you guys can pick up, and it's not anymore. It's now a talent, and it's actually probably the best talent to pick in this tier for like arena or any kind of a 1v1 scenario where you're trying to duel somebody or burst somebody down. That's probably the best option here. Hidden Blades is kind of a cool idea. That's why I originally wanted to go with this AoE build. Every 2 seconds, you gain 20% increased damage on your next Fan of Knives, stacking up to 20 times. So you see up here, my Fan of Knives deals 400 increased damage, 400% increased damage, which comes out to about 1600 damage, and then it's going to drop that 20 down to 1 and just start counting back up again, obviously. Crimson Tempest is a finishing move that slashes all enemies within 10 yards, dealing instant damage and causing victims to bleed for an additional damage, lasts longer per combo point. So what you guys will see there is it's not a very large range by any means, but it deals a decent amount of damage over that amount of time. It's an okay choice. I mean, I personally don't think I would go for it in too many scenarios, but I can definitely understand some people who would. Whenever it comes to your PvP talents, this is it now, guys. This is all you have. So you have 3 PvP talents, and then you have your Medallion, Adaptation, and Relentless. Obviously, you're going to go with Gladiator Medallion most of the time. If you're an orc, you're going to always, or most of the time, go for Relentless. Adaptation's used some of the time. So with this build that I'm using here, I'm obviously building for an AoE effect here, but so you get to pick any 3 of these talents to actually be your honor talents. You can enable them in Stormwind, but as long as your war mode is enabled in general, you can always have access to these effects. So you can always have Smoke Bomb even though you're not in PvP. Like, I can pop it right now if I want to. You can have it anytime as long as it's enabled. There is no PvP, like you enter PvP and then you get those abilities. It's not like that. Now it's just you get the abilities as long as you're marked for war. And I will go ahead and read this for you guys. If you enlist in war mode and activate world PvP, it increases your quest rewards and experience by up to 10%, and enabling PvP talents in the outdoor world. So that pretty much just resaid what I said, but you get 10% increased experience and other rewards, I guess, whatever that might be, gold, I'm assuming, and whatever else. Guys, this is an awesome system. Like, if you're kind of iffy on it, like, go into the game, check it out. I think you guys will really like this. The way that it goes is like just pick 3 kind of a thing, and I mean, it feels really good. It lets you kind of go with a unique build, and I absolutely love it, and I would highly suggest checking this out. I mean, if you haven't played World of Warcraft in a long time, like, come back to the game, give it a chance, give it a month, pay $15 and give it just 1 month and see what you think about it. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. There aren't very many changes in the actual abilities other than what we've already gone over, but Detection is one of them, which you focus intently on trying to detect certain creatures. I'm not 100% sure what that does. Like, I haven't spent a lot of time with that, so I'm not really going to go into detail on it. It could make it easier to find traps, or it says creatures, so maybe it's talking about invisible people or invisible, stealthies. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that really quick. Shroud of Concealment is not new to rogues, but it is new to your Assassination rogue. In Shroud of Concealment is instant on a 6-minute cooldown, and it extends a cloak that shrouds party and raid members within 30 yards in shadows, providing stealth for 15 seconds, which is, I mean, it's really useful in some situations, so I can't hate on it. I'm glad we got it. I think it's a big deal that we got another piece of our kit back that we once had. I think that's about it. Like, for the new changes, really the biggest thing that's a change is the PvP talents right here, and the variety that you guys finally have to do something more than just single target AoE, or sorry, single target burst damage and just rotting people. I mean, now you can kind of do some other stuff, and it's kind of cool. I like it a lot, actually. I think it kind of you bring a little bit of uniqueness to a battleground whenever you get to run, you know, whatever PvP talent you want in all three of these slots. Like it's really cool. It's a cool thing. I think Blizzard's doing a good job with this. I'm excited to see what happens in Battle for Azeroth. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, do subscribe, because I'm trying to grow this channel. I took a massive break from this channel, but I'm hopefully coming back. I'm hopefully posting some videos here and there. Do hit the bell notification, because apparently that's a thing. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I've been gone that long. It's been like a year. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace!